People's Dispatch. The FBI conducts coordinated raids against Black Liberation Organization. What? Chairman of the U.S.-based African People's Socialist Party in St. Louis, Missouri. Ishtila claims the FBI deployed flashbang grenades, carried automatic weapons, damaged the property of his neighbors, including smashing windows, handcuffed himself and his wife. Brace talked about this on Chavo yesterday. I have been a long time. Okay, here. I have to admit something. I have been a long time advocate for the Black Hammer organization. Ghazi is a friend of mine. Okay. I am, of course, a part of the Reparation Corps. Every day I apologize for my whiteness and my white colonizer skin. And, bro, what the fuck is wrong with you? Okay. I've been following closely what Ghazi and the Black Hammer movement has done for a long time, for obvious reasons. But I, unfortunately, have not paid attention to the new stuff that happened, other than the fact that I know that they got raided. Other than I know that they got, they got raided by the FBI. I know that there's some fucking Russian, some unironic and very real Russian influence. But also they were a psychotic fucking cult from the jump. So I'm not actually surprised that they ended up, getting taken down. Especially after someone apparently killed themselves in the house. Wait, hold on. What is this one? Remember, Ghazi was an abuser with a God complex through and through. This other picture did not age well either. Black Hammer called 35-year-old Ghazi preys on young adolescents, and it needs to end. Oh my God. What the fuck? Okay. Young shooters, nice. That's great to refer to young POCs as. Yeah, I mean, Ghazi is what happens. Ghazi is what happens when you fucking let a YouTuber run wild, okay? All the YouTube essayists probably are well, he is black, so the YouTube essayists that love doing debates are probably going to hate him regardless, even though he does deserve hatred. If they could overlook his, blackness, they would say, they would probably say, well, at least he's morally consistent, because he is technically morally consistent. You know what I mean? I'm on that no theory cult creation grind set for real. Yeah. Okay, here it is. Here. Okay, should we look at this? I haven't covered this, but they're done. So hold on. At least one person is dead after a hostage situation at a house occupied by members of Black Hammer Party, the current name being used by the Black Hammer cult. Local Atlanta news shared earlier today that there was a hostage situation at a house in Fayetteville, a suburb of Atlanta. Black Hammer are anti-vaxxers? Brother, anti-vaxxers is the most normal position they have. Are you out of your fucking mind? What the fuck? That is the most normal opinion they have. Dog, Black Hammer popped off. One of the first times they ever popped off, other than their land back movement, was when they came out of the gate swinging by calling Anne Frank a colonizer. Okay? That was the first time that they got a little bit of traction. They literally came out and were like, Anne Frank's a colonizer. And then they tried to fight. They called her a bleach demon too. Then they tried to. They called her a Becky. They they tried to they tried to justify it because they were like, well, her dad had fought in World War One or some shit. I'm begging you, the party chatter reference wasn't Black Hammer. You kind of non sequitur into that. Okay, we'll get back to the other connections. This is the raid the chatter was talking about. I don't know if this is like genuinely connected to it, to the Black Hammer, but I do know that the Black Hammer thing happened. Okay, I also listened to Chapo today. I have not listened to Chapo yet, but probably Dragon Army 4208 are a 24-month subscriber, so you might have heard me talk about the Black Hammer organization because I talked about the Anne Frank shit and also their land back initiative that was a disastrous fucking failure. So shut the fuck up. I've literally talked about it here, dumb bitch. You've been a part of this community for a long enough time that you've heard me probably even on accident talk about it. Oh my God, it's getting so fucking hot in this room. I am literally cooking. I am cooking. I am on fire. Why does my AC unit decide to shut off when it is directly the hottest fucking moment in the house? No, it literally got covered today. I listened during my shift today. Anyway, oh, Jesus Christ. I'm dying. I'm dying. I'm dying. I'm dying. I'm dying. Okay. Oof. The radical rise and cultish fall of the Black Hammers. Okay, but they're talking about Ghazi, but then other people are saying this is a separate thing. But it is the Uhura movement, and the Uhura movement is tied back to Ghazi, and the Uhura movement is bullshit too. So if the African People's Socialist Party and the Uhuru movement are tied to one another, then I'm afraid I'm not gonna trust the African People's Socialist Party either too much. Okay. The Pan-Africanist group has been a longtime advocate for reparations for slavery and a vocal critic of U.S. foreign policy. The raids came as the Justice Department indicted a Russian man living overseas. He is accused of using the U.S.-based groups to spread Russian propaganda. The groups were not named in the indictment, but reportedly include the African People's Socialist Party. One of the FBI raids targeted Omali Yeshitela, the founder of the African People's Socialist Party. He accused the FBI of targeting the group for its political work. That's it? This doesn't cover it at all. Russian propaganda, a classic? No. This was no. This was unironically one of the few instances where like the Russian guy was like funding them is real. Your mom turned off the AC? I don't know if they did. I don't know if she did. Okay. He announced he was armed with a lot of guns and has security for anyone who tried to shut him up. Killed the police. Kodzo shouted into a bullhorn as a follower with a cell phone camera. Beamed the march on the group's YouTube channel. To get free, you've got to kill the pigs. The Atlanta-based Black Hammer Party represents a new brand of radicalism on Georgia's political fringes. I mean, they're just a cult, man. They're just a cult. No, my mom is not a Daishi! I'm Turkish! Sometimes I fuck up gender pronouns! Why are you so horny to immediately find something that is non-binary? Fuck! Literally, chat pops the fuck off anytime. Leftist chat. Fuck. Obsessive, dude. It's not just leftist chat, it's online fandom chat. Yeah, well, that too. Okay. Kadzo is pretty fucking crazy. Ghazi is pretty fucking crazy. Okay. And there was an armed standout. Oh, this is what I was talking about. Thanks to all of you, Black Hammer successfully liberated 200 acres of land to build our city for colonized people only. We are located high up in the mountains, 10,000 feet in the air with rich soil. We have 1 lake and 3 rivers on the land. This was, of course, bullshit. Okay? They have a Russian flag on their Twitter profile. He isn't crazy? Okay, you want... Here.
You wanted to call me... What's the word?
That's Ghazi, by the way.
Anti-Semitic. Well, let me tell you something. My name ain't Nick Cannon. I ain't backing up from this. No way, Jose. I said what I said, period. Yeah. I said I don't give a about Anne Frank, and I meant it. Why would I care about a white Jewish girl who has a museum, who we are forced to remember every year in schools? But I, and none of you, could name a single African girl that died on the slave ships from Africa to here. Why don't
we aren't taking these people seriously, right? No, dude, I fucking have made jokes about them many, many times over. What the fuck do you mean?
know any of their names? Why don't we know any of the little African slave girls' names who died?
Dude, this is my favorite point. He ain't wrong. He ain't wrong, though. He ain't wrong. He ain't wrong, though. Yeah, dude, you're right. Agree with this guy, okay? You fucking idiot. No, please, go ahead. Agree with that guy. Join his cult. Well, you can't anymore because he's going to jail. Like, only in fucking Twitch chat do you watch a theater kid off the perk, okay? Literally in full-face Joker clown makeup with, like, non-copyrighted clown music playing in the background, and you go, oh, he's right, though. Yeah, we have seen this before. Of course, I showed you this video before. God damn it, dude.
Why don't we know their names? And then...
God, I fucking despise my chat sometimes. Like, it just, like, I can't... I hope that was a joke.
The white Jews in Israel who forced genocide on their bodies, if they are white. So yeah, Anne Frank was a white Jew. There's white Jews, there's African Jews, there's colonized Jews, but then there's white colonizer Jews. So why, again, would I, me, totally black, totally seeing genocide every day through my eyes, give a damn about you, who have produced a life of...
Thought we called it that they would end up in jail the first time we watched this? Yes. I mean, that wasn't a big lock, though, if we're being honest.
Who has produced the life off of my life? Who has produced the life off of your life? If the white Jews in Israel, on bloody soil of millions of indigenous girls, I don't know any of those indigenous girls' names. I don't know any of their names or their stories, but I know about white Jewish girl Anne Frank. That is genocide. That is genocide. Where they kill you and you only care about their martyrs. And don't tell me that a white Jewish girl Anne Frank ain't white. Just because...
Yeah, when he was being killed, when she was being fucking... When her and her family were being fucking murdered, they were not considered white. Like, which I feel like he just, like, blew past that point. You know what I mean? Like... Like Hitler wasn't like, oh yeah, let's kill all these white guys. Like, that's not how that worked. You know what I mean? It was kind of the whole thing. Like, that was kind of the point. Okay? That was kind of the big point of the Holocaust, was that they weren't white. Anyway.
Two white people are fighting don't mean that that white person's not white to my black behind. Ask the black Jews in Brooklyn who had their children ran over by white Jews if white Jews are white. Ask the Palestinian children who are bombed and droned every day.
Bro, what the fuck does Anne Frank or the fucking millions of Jews that died in the Holocaust have to do with Israel's ongoing crimes, bro? That's what I'm saying. Like, that's insane. Like, they didn't do that, you fucking psycho. What the fuck? That's just like, I don't know what to say about this other than just like, I mean, it's just basically a textbook anti-Semitism.
By white power Israel, if they are...
Yeah, Chatters, the guy you said had some good ideas.
Someone said, if I could say anything to Anne Frank, what would I say? Go to blackhammer.org/reparations.
Yes, and unite, get on the right side of history.
And give all those billions that you made off of the fake story your father wrote that went into Israel to bomb and drone Palestinian and African people.
Who feels a little anti-Semitic? Dude, what? It is anti-Semitic. What do you mean? Like, seems like this guy's saying a little bit of anti-Semitic stuff here. No, that is like, this was a part of their strategy. Yeah, they're Holocaust deniers. Like, they're everything, right? They're not fucking leftists, you dinguses. Don't fucking associate this with like the leftist movement. As a Jew, I find this a little problematic.
That's what I would say to Anne Frank. The same thing I say to all white people.
Period.
Exactly.
All right, are we done?
Oh my God! I think the last time you brought these losers up was when they were on the news defending Nicki Minaj for being anti-vax. Oh yeah, they did do that. Anyway. Don't y'all already know it just takes a good book to burn? Yeah, oh. Y'all whites keep asking us how we're going to keep ourselves warm in the mountains. Don't y'all already know it just takes a good book to burn and some nice wood? And best believe we have plenty of copies to keep us warm all season long. So yeah, I mean, they were... Oh, fuck. They are very similar to like all of those other like psychotic fucking little groups that claim that they're leftists or whatever. Where their entire purpose is just to be as like insane as possible, and then people will turn around and they will pay attention to you. And there are plenty of fucking psychos, dude. I mean, look at Andrew Tate, right? There are plenty of fucking weirdos that will go, "Oh, I actually like this. Like, maybe they got some truth to what they're saying." Anyway, they were highly underestimating the amount of fuel you need to last the season. There's no way they got what. But yeah, ultimately, the Russian national charged with conspiring to have U.S. citizens act as illegal agents of the Russian government. And yeah, this was, I mean, I know like Russiagate, but like this is, this is a real part of what they do. For sure.
That's suspicious. That's weird.
This is his TikTok account. I'm pretty sure he like.
Our headquarters alert. Big body offices for our national and international work. Big Mama.
And people were calling them BLM, and then local news said it was BLM defending Nicki Minaj, and you called it out. Yeah, I did. I did talk about them back then.
Kitchen to prepare free food for our homeless community. Big royal bathrooms for our people to get clean and pristine.
This is the guy who wore the clown makeup. Yeah, he just set up a cult for himself.
Big broad back bedrooms for our people. Join Black Hammer today and help us feed, clothe, and house our people. New Black Hammer.
Imagine waking up and seriously deciding to follow this guy. I mean, he went after like really young people. He went after people that were like really fucked up in the head. You know what I mean? Learn facts about the Holocaust. What the fuck? I don't want to touch this. My black ass seeing white person in South Africa for the first time. I guess it's muted. They always pop up in Atlanta passing out flyers to help homeless, and they just go recruit those same homeless people. Also pushy as hell. Like, you know, it's just a cult just by talking to them. They push more than the evangelists. Yeah. What would you classify this as? Black National Socialism? Just another cult? No, man. No, it's just a cult. That's it. There is no like genuine ideological purpose behind anything that they're doing and anything that they're saying. The problem is his dumbass tried to use like leftist aesthetics to fucking get ahead when he should have done what every other grifter has always done, which is reactionary aesthetics. Because if you try to use, especially as a black person, if you try to use like fucking leftist aesthetics, you're gonna get clapped up. Okay. It's also totally a sex thing. I mean, all cults are totally a sex thing. Fancy way of saying black Nazi. I mean, yeah, I mean they are, but that's the problem. If you want to do a cult shit like this, you can't use like leftist aesthetics. Hasan, I've been watching for 4 years. Never been more frustrated that you hand waved the APSB. It sucks that you kind of conflated APSB with Black Hammer when that's objectively just not true. Those two aren't linked, and if they are, what's the connection? Uhuru is the connection, I thought. But maybe I'm wrong. And I said I might be wrong about that, but that is what it seemed like. Okay? That's what it is. There are also a lot of like revolutionary Black Panther parties that aren't actually like affiliated with the Black Panther Party at all, and as a matter of fact are you know, they're ops for the most part. They pop up at like every one of these fucking weird protests. Okay. Around noon, the charismatic leader of Ghazi, law enforcement vehicles, multiple agencies. Can someone show me the other one though? Like, I want to see the, not Ghazi. I want to see the APSB. Oh, here, this is Uhuru though.
Ancestors, the ones who owned slaves and the ones who did not, the Jews in the white Jews in Hungary.
You better tell on the white Jews. Say that again.
The white Jews in Hungary, the fake Jews.
Yes, fake white Jews.
Fake white Jews.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So you unite with reparations.
Completely.
Uhuru.
Uhuru.
What your name is again?
Jackson.
Uhuru Jackson.
Uhuru.
Uhuru.
What's up, Uhuru?
Yep, you heard him, y'all. He said Uhuru. Uhuru.
Uhuru.
Where you from?
Seattle.
He raised around all nothing but African people, y'all. So he don't know nothing about being white. He don't like white people. Ain't that right?
All white people owe reparations, though.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Ain't that right?
That's true.
And what your name is?
Prince.
Uhuru Prince.
Uhuru.
Now, why you open reparations?
Because as a white person, I sit on the pedestal of colonialism and slavery that built not only the wealth of this country, but the whole European world. Therefore, all white people owe reparations, and we're coming to get it.
So the African People's Socialist Party USA is a Uhuru organization. Which Ghazi was a part of originally. So it's not that far removed. So here it is. I mean, DOJ alleges Russian national used St. Pete-based Uhuru movement to spread propaganda. I talked about them when Channel 5 covered them, if you remember. The African People's Socialist Party was the one who created the Uhuru movement. St. Petersburg, a Tampa-based grand jury formally charged the Russian national with spearheading a multi-year influence campaign using U.S. political groups to spread pro-Russian propaganda and interfere in elections, including those in St. Petersburg. They have a great used furniture store in Oakland, California, super friendly and helpful. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people that get caught up in this shit, like, not every fucking cult member is a psycho like Ghazi. Some people are just duped into it. Okay? Yeah, he abuses white guilt to get money from white people, which, like... Oh, by the way, the Uhuru reparations is not actually, like, an organized movement to push for reparations in the form of, like, legislation or, like, a systemic way of trying to get reparations. It just means, like, they go to white people and they say... They just go to stop calling Uhuru a cult. Bro, what the fuck is going on, dude? Oh my God. That's a fucking 2-year chatter, bro. 26 months. 2-year plus, bro. Come on. You're fucking baiting, dude. Please. I'm gonna fucking claw my eyes out. Like, no, he's defending it. There's no need to center these raids around Black Hammer. It is centered on the theory of African internationalism, which it says provides historical materials explanation for the social and economic conditions of African people worldwide. That part is true. Okay? The Uhuru movement has been accused of collaborating with alleged Russian foreign agent Alexander Viktorovich Ionov to solve social divisions in the United States. Members of the Uhuru movement have traveled to St. Petersburg, Russia to attend anti-globalization conference. The group has also acknowledged that it supports Russia in its ongoing war with Ukraine. That kind of shit I don't give a fuck about, okay? even though that kind of shit implies that they are, you know, insane. Like taking a pro-Russia stance in the Russian invasion of Ukraine is psychotic. Like you can admit the NATO involvement, you can admit American imperialism, but like saying that they're just totally valid to do so, you're done. I'm done. You're out of your fucking mind. Anyway. The Uhuru movement's political theory is African internationalism, which is fine, which states that capitalism was born parasitic through the attack on Africa and its people. African internationalism holds that capitalism is imperialism developed to its highest stage, not the other way around, as theorized by Vladimir Lenin. So they're revisionists. This belief derives from Karl Marx's book. Okay, we're not going to get into like, you know, all that. But in the 90s, tensions between the police in St. Petersburg, Florida, and the Uhuru movement were high. Members of the Uhuru movement frequently protested against police's treatment of African Americans. Like, as I have said before, like they can have valid concerns or they can be a part of valid movements. But if you think that automatically they are valid, or if you automatically think that they are on the right side and that they are, you know, pushing or advocating for the right things, then I was only aware of the furniture stores. It sucks to know that they don't think my grandfather from Budapest who survived the Holocaust is a fake Jew. That is sick. Why are you defending FBI raids on them for this bullshit? That's definitely reminiscent of the Red Scare propaganda. Bro, there is nothing wrong with being like a Pan-African nationalist, okay? But this is entirely separate from that. Just like these guys are not fucking literally like, they're not real leftists. Like, what do you mean? They're just using the aesthetics. My God. Okay. Areas of work. The Uhuru movement is a collective organization and institutions that were formed by African People's Socialist Party. Each organization was created to deal with specific issues related to conditions faced by African people under colonialism. The thing about Uhuru is that there are rape charges. Lamau, yeah, no, I know that was just Ghazi, I think, not about the African People's Socialist Party. Okay. The African Socialist International is the international manifestation of the African People's Socialist Party. Its job is to build a party organizations around the world and network with other revolutionary African organizations who unite with the principles of the party. Bro, looking at this and saying like this is a legitimate group based around like revolutionary principles that simply have the express purpose of emancipation. Okay. But a lot of what I've seen from Uhuru, from the Uhuru organization, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's a broader coalition there. But a lot of what I had seen, even not with like Ghazi, but a lot of what I had seen revolves around like directly getting money from white people under the guise of reparations. Okay? Like looking at fucking what's his face, Farrakhan, and being like, well, that's a leftist leader right there. Okay. Community movement builders and African nationalist org here in Atlanta, main organizers around the Rayshard Brooks stuff and have ties to the Black Panther movement. They're heavily targeted and harassed by Black Hammer and totally denounce people like Ghazi. Okay. African National Women's Organization, community organizations, All African People's Development and Empowerment Project, international organization, Solidarity for non-African political organizations. The Uhuru Furniture Philadelphia represents people in Philadelphia. I joined my local Uhuru. What? No, you didn't. Fuck up. They build those basketball courts yet? No, I don't think they actually did it. The entire chat is like top of the hour ad breaks right now. Yes, it's the top of the hour, okay? I don't know about reparations, but, you know, there's no... Here, top of the hour, there's a 6-second ad break. I'm just running it. Please, everybody, shut the fuck up. You're being annoying. I'm trying to cover this thing, and everyone in the chat is literally just trying to bait me. Pecker Protector Soheeb, thank you for allowing 5 people to no longer see the ads with a gifted sub. Here's the 1 minute ad break now. Bob Avakian is the leader of the American left. What? What are you doing? Why? Why are you doing this? Why are you joking right now when there's clearly some fucking brain broken idiots in the chat currently? Why are you, a 36-month subscriber, memeing right now? When I can't tell if these dumb motherfuckers are memeing or not, dude. I know you're joking, but I don't know if some other fucking dickheads are joking. Anila, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. The Ghazi Blackhammer co-opted Uhuru. That's just the gist, I think. I legitimately cannot find any direct ties between APSP and Blackhammer. That's what incensed a few of us Marxist-Leninists. I'm still looking, and I still find nothing other than just Blackhammer using the term Uhuru in their psycho videos. No, Blackhammer, or at least Ghazi, was absolutely a part of the Uhuru movement. This is a video from back before Blackhammer when he was a part of the Uhuru movement. This is him.
Uhuru, you better tell it.
Yeah, we coming to get it.
Uhuru. Uhuru?
Uhuru.
What your name is?
Jesse.
Jesse, you owe me reparations.
Correct.
And I want it. When do I want it?
Now.
When do I want it?
Now.
And you gonna get it for me?
Yes, indeed.
All right. Why you owe reparations?
And Ghazi wasn't just a member. He was like a leader in one of the chapters.
Because every opportunity and amenity I have has been at the expense of my black and brown brothers and sisters around the world. Everything in this country is soaked, saturated with.
The funniest part about it is that, like, reparations are correct. It is morally the correct position to have. But these motherfuckers don't have reparation. Like, they're not looking for reparations. They're looking for white people to fucking give them money. White people with a profound sense of fucking white guilt. Not white guilt that comes from a genuine understanding of the impact of slavery, but white guilt that is, ironically, incredibly fucking hyper individualistic, because individual reparations don't work. Okay, that's not a real thing. That's why we always in this community joke about, like, oh, donate to some black cash apps right now. This is it. This is utilizing a legitimate emancipatory movement to line up your own fucking pockets.
With the blood of slavery, with genocide, even the.
What kind of reparations do you think are legitimate? Reparations done by the United States government, okay? There is no, like, individually giving a black person, reparations. That's not how that works.
Times that I've had to scrape for dollars in my life, they still bared the face of the slave master, genocidal maniac. And I know full well that even the homeless white man on the street corner is gonna get more head nods and ham sandwiches than the black man across the street. So every white person, no matter how little you got or think you got, you owe money. I owe money. And like my brother Prince said, like my comrade Prince said, if you don't give it, we're gonna come take it.
Coming to take it.
And I've seen Prince take it, all right? We by a church across the street, and Prince ran up on this old white man. What you say up to the old white man coming out the church?
I asked if you want to hear the gospel of reparations.
Hey! Uhuru?
Uhuru.
What your name is?
Virginia.
Uhuru, Virginia. Oh, do I look good in this sun, Virginia?
You always look good.
Thank you. Now you gotta hurry up because you gotta get out the sun, girl. You ain't got no sunscreen, girl. We gotta save your skin. Hurry up, girl. Hurry up.
Okay.
You know the sun don't like you, girl. Come on now.
Okay, every white person does owe reparations, and that is because we owe that money for the colonial oppression that our ancestors have, done to African people, and it continues to this day right here in the U.S., not just all over the world, but here in the U.S. So all white people, no matter who you are, you do owe reparations. You owe them right now, and you need to pay them right now.
Yes.
And you can go to uhurusolidarity.org and click on the button that says pay reparations. That's what you need to do. You need to do it now.
Uhuru! Uhuru!
Say one more thing.
Yes, you may see them t-shirts real quick.
Black power.
Uhuru.
Hey, just like the chairman says,
The funniest thing is, like, this is how conservatives think, like, every person that is against racism is. You know what I mean? Like, this is what, like, conservatives that come into my chat, this is how they see me. Like, they're like, bro, this is you right now. Like, you're watching yourself. You know what I mean?
Chairman who? They might not know.
Chairman Omali Yeshitela, the
Yes.
African People's Socialist Party and the African Socialist International. A lot of white people will say they don't want to pay reparations because they ain't have nothing to do with slavery. It happened so long ago. But what we have to understand is we are the inheritors of the social wealth that was created by slavery, and African people and other colonized people are the inheritors of the social despair and the social poverty that is the legacy of slavery.
Uhuru, and that is the power of African internationalism, turning cave beasts into revolutionaries for African people. Uhuru.
No, they're not anarchitties. They're just like, they're nothing. Okay, listen. You keep linking the Democracy Now! Piece back, but this one it doesn't say anything. You understand? Democracy Now! Piece does not mention anything beyond saying that they are just a longtime advocate for reparations for slavery and a vocal critic of U.S. foreign policy. I love Democracy Now!, but this is not exactly, we read the whole article. There's a quote from Omali, I know, but that doesn't mention anything. They see in the African People's Socialist Party a vanguard for the struggle for the liberation of our people. They see that because not just what we do here in the United States, but because we have the temerity to do like Garvey, to do like Malcolm X, to take the struggle of black people around the world. You said you love Democracy Now! I love Democracy Now!, yes. I'll have to look further into the African People's Socialist Party because, like, the Uhuru movement, as far as what I have seen the Uhuru movement, as far as what I have seen, directly revolves around like trying to get like fucking dumbass radlib white people to give them money, not like directly back to black people, but just them. For community development projects, some of which that don't ever end up, falling through. All right. Yes, Channel 5 did do a video on this. And I covered this extensively back then. Okay. Anyway, let's look at this fucking article real quick. DOJ alleges Russian national used... Okay, we already did that. The Uhuru House... While not named in the indictment, the FBI confirmed its raid on Friday morning at the headquarters of the Uhuru movement in St. Petersburg is connected to the alleged conspiracy. Agents carried out what it called a court-authorized warrant, which is a Florida-based headquarters of a black international socialist group. They were seen carried out unidentified box for hours. The Uhuru House is home to the Uhuru movement, which is part of the African People's Socialist Party. According to the Associated Press, the party website says it aims to unite African people as one people for liberation, social justice, and self-reliance and economic development. That is literally exactly what it is. I'm speaking as someone whose best friend was a member of theirs for years. They only left because they were being worked to the bone and pressured and guilted by other members of a cult unequivocally. Why do people feel guilty about something that happened hundreds of years ago? I don't think that white guilt is a healthy attitude to have. I think that white people should also understand the devastating impact of fucking slavery and push for reparations. Okay? Like the idea quickly turns into the idea of empathy for black people, okay, and all marginalized people quickly turns into fucking something weird when you try to counter it like that. Okay? It's race play findom. Don't speak too much on it. Some of us got to make a living. Yeah. The DOJ says Ionov worked on behalf of the Russian government to exercise direction or control over 3 political entities on behalf of the Russian Federal Security Service, the successor to the Soviet Union's KGB, okay, FSB. According to the University of North Carolina, U.S. government officials allege Ionov used and recruited and used such political groups in Georgia, California, and Florida to provide financial support, publish pro-Russian propaganda, and coordinate action to further Russia's interests. I mean, this is like the dumbest way to fucking take these dudes down, by the way. The DOJ said that they funded an all-expense paid trip in May 2015 to Russia for an unidentified leader now believed to be a part of the Uhuru movement to communicate on future cooperation between it and the AGMR. For at least the next 7 years, the government alleges Ionov exercised direction and control over senior members of the Florida group. Prosecution of this criminal conduct is essential to protecting the American public when foreign governments seek to inject themselves into the American political province. Like, I feel like this is the part of it that is like overreach, or the part of it that's like fucking ridiculous, is that like groups like this have no fucking immediate impact. But there's no way to legislate against cults, okay? And there are plenty of cults like this on the right which never get this kind of fucking attention or never get this kind of coverage until they literally blow up a building or get their hands on fucking, explosive shit, right? And the issue is that the FBI does not exercise the same level of caution when it comes to right-wing reactionary, fascist, white supremacist fucking movements such as this one. And the reality in this situation is that while they're using incredibly loose definitions of behaving as a foreign agent or whatever, the unfortunate reality is that it is still operating, or the FBI's movements in this circumstance of like dismantling a cult like this. If this is, if this is basically what I understand, or how I understand the Uhuru movement to be, if that is true, then this is culty, and there's no effective way to. There's no effective way to undermine its worst impacts. Okay? Anyway. Akil Anai says she's the director of the African People's Socialist Party Department of Agitation Propaganda, told 10 Tampa Bay the FBI seized her laptop and phone under false pretenses. Agents claimed the government was concerned about her relationship to forces in Russia. What we know this to really be, one, is a propaganda war being waged against Russia every single day through the news. The U.S. has a hold on what is being propagated about the war on the defensive war, Russia's defensive war against Ukraine, against world colonial powers. I mean, these sentiments are just as fucking stupid. These statements are just as stupid as like every fucking dumbass American who thinks like they were engaging in a defensive war in Afghanistan or Iraq. And that kind of attitude is significantly more popular. And regardless of the popularity of that attitude, that was America's foreign policy for a very long time. Russia's defensive war against Ukraine. Putin launched the country's Ukraine on February 24th. Anaya asserted that the U.S. government is wanting to isolate Africans in the U.S. fighting for liberation. This is an attack, she said, and the Uhuru movement is a target. No, the real target is shit that you don't see in fucking local news, okay? It's not the Uhuru movement being taken down. It's Black Lives Matter protesters being, or protest leaders. And I'm not talking about DeRay, and I'm certainly not talking about Sean fucking King. But leaders of the Black Lives Matter protests suspiciously dying by suicide in their cars with like gunshot wounds to the back of their fucking head. That kind of information doesn't actually make it to the local news. That doesn't get that kind of coverage, okay? And when I say Black Lives Matter, I certainly don't mean
local school districts get ready for the new year, which is next week already.
When I say Black Lives Matter, I also certainly don't mean the international BLM charge, which took a fuckload of funds in the aftermath of the George Floyd protests and then bought themselves a nice little fucking mansion for $5 million or whatever. Okay? It's just funny to fucking grift off of like Pan-African ideology though, like because it's not exactly super popular. Anyway. Our local BLM group leader had their car torched and front door set on fire. Anyway. Like killing me, dude. It's killing my brain. Part of the genius though, when you Google what Ghazi says, it sounds legit, but it doesn't at all reflect what Ghazi actually does. Yeah. So yeah. Fuck his comrade riot said since I yelled at them. Literally all I said is Uhuru is not a cult. Okay. All right. According to the indictment, he targeted U.S. political group 1 based in St. Petersburg, Florida. Funded an all-expense paid trip to Russia. Prosecution of this criminal conduct is essential to protecting the American public. Yeah, what is Russia doing, bro? Such an L way of like trying to fucking do subversion. Like just fucking lobby the government like every other country. You know what I mean?
Hoorah! 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 Hoorah!
Could have given these dudes money and like, you know, an all expense paid trip to fucking Russia.
So you heard it here. If you are ready, if you are white, male Saxon, okay, totally skin complexion individual, saltine American, and you are ready to join the revolution, where can you go?
You can go to uhurusolidarity.org and click on the red button that says pay reparations.
Now. And pay those
If it wasn't Russia, it was a Russian dude. Man, okay, bro. Come on, dude. Why are we acting like Russia is like small bean, dude? What the fuck is this shit? Oh, it wasn't Russia. It was a Russian dude. Yeah. Probably was doing it on his own, man. Jesus Christ, dude. Why are you like this? Like, I make no mistake. Like, I acknowledge the actions that foreign governments might involve themselves in. Anyway. I'm sorry, but there's no way the FSB gave Uhuru money. That's stupid. Nobody does that. Why are you acting like Russia will put their eggs into a cultist dump? So who did it then? They just like casually did a trip to Russia? Is that what happened? Like the dude is literally on trial. We'll see what happens. See what comes out of it. It's cheap though. It's also not expensive. It's like relatively inexpensive to you know, try multiple avenues, this being one of them. So I don't know why you're acting like this is impossible. Black Hammer and Uhuru, plus another group in California wrapped up in this case. Black Hammer's links to Ionov haven't exactly been secret, but the government's alleging that he sent them to California to protest at Facebook headquarters and design their signs. Two of these guys are already in jail, facing a bunch of charges related to the suicide kidnapping in Atlanta. Ghazi could be facing even more trouble now. Does it say 1 count of sodomy? Yeah, I think they're using that as like a rape charge. I think I don't understand that either. Uhuru is a Russian conspiracy. No, dummy. Uhuru and other groups like this could have originally started, okay, maybe even under honorable intentions and then turned into a fucking grift. Okay? But those kinds of cults can be utilized by foreign governments to do like the dumbest kind of protest possible. Do you get it? Anyway, this guy has like linked the Noam Chomsky Russia-Ukraine thing literally all day, which is pretty funny because I'm not going to watch it. I don't care what like a 900-year-old man had to say about like Russia being like more open-minded about information than the United States of America. Okay? I'm not going to watch it. I don't care what the fuck Russell Brand has to say, and I don't care about Noam Chomsky has to say about this either. Okay? You just want me to watch it so you can fucking clip it and then be like, look, Hasan is like not agreeing with Chomsky, or Hasan is agreeing with Chomsky. I don't know what the fuck you're going to try to do, but please stop. Okay? Jesus fucking Christ. You haven't stopped clicking this since like yesterday. I'm almost certain you were fucking posting about this like the other day too. Maybe someone else was. You haven't stopped spamming since 1, dude. 1. Been 3 fucking hours. Why I wouldn't go to TwitchCon? Yeah. Okay. Defendant Ionov sent electronic message to UIC5 with a picture of a design for a poster protesting United States social media companies' decision to place content restrictions on posts that supported Russia's invasion of Ukraine. He paid approximately $3,000 to purchase airline tickets and 3 other members of U.S. political group 2 to fly from Atlanta to California and return from San Francisco to Atlanta. Dude, that's the funny thing. It's like you always wonder, like, where the fuck are these psychos coming from? Because whenever there's like a weird protest, there's always like the same psychos, and it's the same in like right-wing circles too, where you're like, I've seen this motherfucker before. Why is he at every protest? He doesn't have a job. How does he get from place to place? There's always some kind of like weird, nefarious shadow group behind them that just like giving them money to fly to places. Okay, it's like a jobs program for the mentally ill people. Like the same 15 RevCon people? Yes. This one happens to be funded by the FSB. You mean Michael the Black Man at Trump rallies? Yes. Well, that's the right-wing version of that, but yes. Isn't that the same George Soros conspiracy from the right? No, this is not like George Soros is like a non-entity in this situation. Every fucking group does this. Everyone does this. Okay? This is just like a part of international espionage, clandestine operations. It's like something that the American intelligence community does regularly as well. You know? Not an accident that you see fucking random like Ukrainian Azov battalion guys with swastika tattoos at the fucking Hong Kong protests. How did they get there? Who funded their travels to go to Hong Kong? Why do they care about Hong Kong's liberation against China? I wonder how they got there. Who sent them there? Why? Are they just like individually there? You think? Why is the every color revolution has like similar fucking actors from other like white nationalists, white separatists, white supremacist fucking groups? Like Soros is, of course, someone who is very wealthy and has his own fucking liberal, neoliberal worldview and will genuinely impact the political process or try to do so. Not him alone, though. Okay? But like they did do this. What is this? Justice Dem Watch? What the fuck? Why is this like psychotic Justice Dem Watch tying the Uhura movement to the Justice Democrats? Turns out that same Russian front group handpicked Cory Bush and influenced her to run for U.S. Senate. Yeah, exactly. Everyone wants a peace, dude. Everyone wants a peace. They're using it as an opportunity to fucking like attack whoever the fuck they want to attack. This account is run by an insane K-hiver? Of course, dude. Their bio is insane. Liberal Democrat working to expose AOC and the squad who have admitted they are working on a hostile takeover of the Democratic Party. Dude, this is American politics. Because when there is no material restitution offered by either party, if you are a working class, normal working class human being, okay, when you realize that like both parties are working along the same fucking boundaries, they're working for the same interests, and that they're not working for you, then the only people who are going to be interested in politics and the only people who are going to be interested in fucking engaging in political action to this degree are going to be the mentally ill, okay? And some of that mental illness is going to be put to good use. Remember that one stalker I had that that turned out to be working alongside the DNC